Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. It's August 20th, and today I am here, and so is Andrew. Yep, he's here, and we're here for a tropical update because the tropics are finally getting active in the Atlantic. Yes, please consider subscribing and leave a like. I would really appreciate it. Let's try to hit 220 by the end of August. That would be good. It's not that far away. So let's get started. So right now we have 3 systems in the Atlantic. First of all, let's talk about Tropical Depression 13. We got our first update on this last night, and this is our cone right now. And me and Andrew, we both pretty much agree with the National Hurricane Center with their cone, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can see it's forecasted to be a tropical storm through Sunday. But then by Monday afternoon, this is the major change from yesterday, is it's forecasted to become a hurricane. So we're going to have to see what that does, though. And the models have trended, or the National Hurricane Center's cone has transitioned a little bit further to the south, and a little bit further, a little bit of a bigger curve at the end of it since last night. That's the cone for Tropical Depression 13. Right now it has maximum sustained winds of 35. We have tropical storm watches out for Puerto Rico and some of the islands. Wind speed probabilities with this. Some areas of Florida already have a 30 to 40%, and areas of Key West have a 40 to 50% chance. Tropical storm force winds. Actually 50 to 60. Wait, no, that's 40 to 50, sorry. So you can see that the National Hurricane Center is forecasting it to be very close to Florida as we go closer to Monday. Anything to say about that, Andrew?
There is potential for There's potential for this to hit Florida and then go back into the Gulf. Now, it could hit Florida as a Category 1, maybe low in Cat 2 if everything goes right for it. And then after it hits Florida, it'll be a Cat 1, most likely, maybe tropical storm. And then it could re-strengthen out into the Gulf, probably Category 2. Maybe 3. And definitely a Category 1.
I'd say Category 1. I'd say probably upper end trout. I'd say Category 1 hurricane when it hits Florida the first time, Monday afternoon, according to the National Hurricane Center. But when it goes back into the Gulf, that's going to be the interesting part, because if shear is low and moisture is good, and this thing doesn't have to fight with dry air, it could go under rapid intensification. I wouldn't be surprised if it does, as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. Now let's talk about our other system real quick. And that is Tropical Depression 14 right here. 35 mile per hour winds, 1,007 millibars. It's actually slightly more strong than 13 right now. You can see it's forecasted to become a storm. There's tropical storm warnings already issued for areas of Honduras and Nicaragua. Alright. And we have you can see tropical storm, or the hurricane, or the cone. Areas of Texas and Louisiana are already in that. And we can see, we have tropical storm warnings already out for those areas of Honduras. So it's forecasted to make landfall around Tuesday afternoon, according to the National Hurricane Center. Wind speed probabilities. We can see areas of southern Louisiana already have almost a 20% chance. This is not forecasted to become as strong as 14. It's 13 actually. It's not forecasted to become as strong as Tropical Depression 13, but it's forecasted to become a tropical storm sooner. So you have anything to say about that, Andrew?
I definitely think this could maybe become a Category 1 at some point. It definitely depends upon the moisture. Moisture's looking good. Depends on the shear and temps as well of those waters.
Yeah, water temps are good, though. 90 degrees.
Water temps are going to be good, yeah.
It's not really an issue.
This system could be interesting as well because it's likely going to hit the Yucatan of Mexico. Mm-hmm. And then come back into the Gulf, and what it does after it comes back into the Gulf, there's going to be a little bit more higher shear than what Tropical Depression 13 is going to have to deal with. So I'm thinking a hurricane seems unlikely at this time, but maybe it could squeeze out a Cat 1.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go Cat 2, though. Alright, but now let's briefly talk about this, because we have 3 disturbances right now. We have another one, though. We talked about this last night. And now there's a 50% chance in the next 5 days of formation, and within the next 2 days, it has a 20% chance. And it's kind of heading in the direction of the U.S. and Mexico. So I'll have to see what that does, though. We'll have to see. But yeah, now let's start looking at the models. Let's look at the Canadian model here. So let's switch regions here because I forgot to do that. Let's do the Western Atlantic. So we can see these are our 2 systems. This is Saturday afternoon. You can see we have Tropical Depression. This is Tropical Depression 13 right here to the north of Dominican Republic. At 1,001 millibars, likely a tropical storm by Saturday afternoon. We also probably have a tropical storm hitting the Cancun. And then by Sunday morning, we can see Tropical Depression 14. Yeah, Tropical Depression 14 on top of Mexico at 1,004 millibars, probably just bringing some flooding rains. Not a whole lot of wind at that point. But Tropical Depression 13, it might even be a Category 1 hurricane by Sunday afternoon. You can see the Canadian model has this thing strengthening a lot, maybe even into a Cat 2 when it hits Florida the first time at around Miami. Not to worry any of you guys, but it might come kind of close to you. And then it moves up. It's the Florida Panhandle as a 987 millibar. So it does worry me though. And then after that, it goes into eastern Alabama, and we could be seeing a tornado threat, probably in this area generally. It's going to be tracking that way.
Granted, this is still far out, so the track and tornadic threat can really shift, but this thing will probably have a tornado threat with it, depending upon structure.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think the wind field, judging by the look of this, tropical storm force winds will probably extend kind of like that, and it's going to be curving like this, kind of around the high pressure system and just centered in that region. You can see it's still pretty strong. It goes right through southeastern Alabama as maybe even a Category 1 hurricane. Still, it fizzles out into a tropical storm. But you can see very heavy rain bands going through central, southern, and eastern Georgia and the western South Carolina. And those could be tornadic bands. But this is pretty far out. This is still around a week out. So I would, like Andrew said, I would take this for granted right now.
Okay. Can we talk about TD14? Because that could also have a tornado threat with it. TD14 could collide with subtropical jet maybe and produce a tornado threat with it as it goes up northward. Now, track is going to be very uncertain, but if you live in around the Gulf Coast for pretty much pretty much all around the Gulf Coast, you're going to have these 2 systems, so just watch out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what did I say? I don't even know.
But right now, it's Tropical Depression 14 is forecasted to be a 60-mile-per-hour storm landfall in Texas, and then 65 miles per hour by the Yucatan.
All right, so let's move on to the next model. This is the ICOM model. This is the last model we're going to be looking at today. We go out. Tropical Tickets is very slow today for some reason.
Yeah, due to the use of it, I think.
Mm-hmm. Now let's give it a second to load all these hours here. It's not my computer. Normally, actually, Tropical Tickets load very fast most of the time. All right. Well, let's switch regions here to let's do Western Atlantic again. It's not going to have to reload everything. Yep, has to reload again. Alright, but yeah, this is Saturday afternoon. We can see the center of Tropical Depression 13 is still not really formed. It's still not really strong, but it's there to the northwest of Puerto Rico. It's still not really, strong yet. But as we go later, to go up till Sunday morning. We can see it forms into a tropical storm by Sunday morning. Tropical Depression 14 crosses out of Mexico Sunday morning. It's back into the Gulf. It's pretty weak, though. You can see the icon model, if it would load. All right, and by Monday morning, what we can see is it's still a tropical storm. It's right to the north of Cuba, kind of in that general area. We have another potential tropical storm, which is Tropical Depression 14 right now, in the center of the Gulf of Mexico. Can't speak the name for some reason. But all right, so yeah, we can see we have it's right there. It's to the north of Cuba, going to the southwest of the Florida Keys, according to this model, and then it goes up towards the Florida Panhandle and re-strengthens into almost a hurricane, right there. All right, yeah, so you can see it goes with the icon model. It takes it pretty close to the Florida Panhandle. It has this more southerly track. It has a track kind of like that. Now the Canadian model has it more northerly, but the landfall place is looking pretty similar. I'm pretty positive it's going to make landfall in the Florida Panhandle right now. The second landfall, the first landfall, if it does happen, it's either going to be in southern Florida, maybe the Keys, or it may not happen at all. It may go in between the Keys and Cuba, if the icon model is right. Maybe I have anything to say, Andrew?
About what storm?
Any of them.
Both of them? No, you can skip on.
Alright. Oh yeah, speaking of, we also have this is our third system right there. You can see it right there. You can see on the icon model, by next Tuesday, it has it kind of moving closer to Puerto Rico with a low pressure system. It has a kind of a low pressure with it. It's still there, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that, because that could be another threat to the U.S., so we'll have to see about that. Now let's move on from a different topic than tropics. This is the current infrared. We can see this is literally where all the clouds are in the country right now, because it's nighttime and we can't really see visible satellite. But the main story tonight is we have downslope storms in the mountains, like Colorado and northeastern New Mexico. We can see those. We can see how those have moved. They're kind of riding the ridge, which is creating a big dome of heat in the southwest, record-setting temperatures. You can see on that ridge, though, we have a lot of downslope thunderstorms. And it seems like we have some kind of frontal system or something going towards Nebraska, Iowa, and Wisconsin. We have some clouds out in that area. And in the southeast, we have a kind of interesting storm system. We have a marginal risk for severe weather for a lot of the southeast today. You can see we have pretty cold cloud tops for a big area like Tennessee, North Georgia, North Alabama, and Mississippi. And then pretty cold cloud tops across Florida. We can see how those have happened today. They're moving northward. The cloud shield is getting closer to Columbus, Ohio. And it's moving towards Little Rock and Paducah right now. Yeah. And it looks like some of the strongest thunderstorms right now are in eastern Colorado, southeastern Arizona, and Florida. Looks like where maybe the tallest thunderstorms are right now. But let's look at the outlook for today. Today I have the 9 o'clock update. This is the 01Z. The marginal risk for severe weather has been taken out of the southeast, like I expected. Then where we have our ridge, we have a marginal risk in that area, the mountains. And we have a marginal risk for those decent-looking thunderstorms in Arizona. Main threats tonight are just hail and wind. And then tomorrow, once again, our storm system's still in the southeast of a marginal risk. And we have a marginal risk in the northeast and one in the Midwest and the northern plains. And then on day three looks interesting. We have a marginal risk in Iowa, northeastern Nebraska, southeastern South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, UP, and Michigan, and northern Michigan. So watch out in those areas for severe weather. And that marginal risk also continues in the northeast. Oh yeah, that'll wrap this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe Andrew will be back tomorrow also for another special update.
Yeah.
Oh, you will? All right, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll be
maybe.
back. Well, yeah, maybe. All right. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. But yes, peace out.